Hello, slimes and non-slimes like, Residulips here, and the moment basically everyone I've known who has played this game before has wanted, Springtrap has been added to Dead by Daylight. And as someone who has watched exactly one Markiplier video on a game that wasn't even related to FNAF, I'm basically a Five Nights at Freddy's expert. But now, in all seriousness, seeing Springtrap in this game is like a fucking fever dream. Because, why is he here? Like, lore-wise, it doesn't make sense. Because in the lore, he is taken directly after he becomes Springtrap. Which means that there's a universe out there that doesn't have to deal with security breach, and God, I wish that universe was ours. But yeah, Springtrap's in Dead by Daylight, so I'm just showcasing one of my first matches with him. Normally, I would have a series where I show the exact first match I have, regardless of it being good or bad. Unfortunately, the footage for that match got corrupted, so I can't show it. Get well acquainted with that Katie. She keeps fucking up her build. I think. I'm not sure. One of the survivors have head on. I check at the end of the match. One of them have head on. I'm pretty sure it's that Katie because she keeps going into lockers. I'm not sure though. I can't remember. You'll see it at the end of the match. What's more important is, Springtrap's power, because, there's a lot more newer players coming into the game because, FNAF is just a really big franchise, and Dead by Daylight, in comparison, not really. But it is good to see that, Dead by Daylight has reached, like, its highest peak of players on Steam. I'm not sure what the numbers look like on a console, but I'm going to assume they're also probably the highest they've been. So I'll give you a brief summary of Springtrap's power in case you're new to the game. So basically, you have those security doors which you just saw me use, and what you can do with those is you can teleport to any other security door on the map. And once your teleport is over, you gain undetectable. Basically meaning that survivors cannot hear you approaching them, which allows you to sort of jump scare them. And yeah, that's just really fun. I really like the undetectable on Springtrap because, I kid you not, I've had people message me going like, why the fuck you jump scaring me, bruv? And yeah, that's just really fun because if it's one thing I love more than playing Dead by Daylight, it's making people remember that this game is a horror game. And if I can get a jump scare on someone and make them genuinely terrified, I'll fucking take it. As for his other ability, the Fire Axe, basically how it works is you hold up the axe and you throw it. Pretty self-explanatory. There's a bit more going on with it. For example, if it hits the environment, you can see the position of a survivor briefly. If they entered like a dark aura that surrounds the axe when it hits the environment. You can throw it at the security doors to disable the cameras that the survivors can use. And then you have, if you actually hit a healthy survivor with the axe, you can perform a grab attack that will instantly down them. And instantly throw them over your shoulder, similar to how a character called the Mastermind, aka Wesker, works. This person fucks up head-on, I think. I think they're trying to use head-on. I don't know. All I know is that I don't actually get hit by head-on at all during this match. But if you're wondering what my perks are, those little icons in the bottom right corner, the top one, the top purple one is nowhere to hide. Whenever I kick a generator, I see the aura of nearby survivors for a brief period of time. There's the grab attack I was talking about. The one to the left is Call of Brine, which recently had been buffed this patch, so that when it's fully upgraded, it regresses generators at 150% speed, meaning it's only like 50% faster than normal regression, which is still pretty good considering Considering some of my favorite builds to run in this game are gen kick builds. mostly because I like using the unforeseen and nowhere to hide combo. There's also... I can't remember the name of this Springtrap perk. It's like Terror or something. Something with Terror or... Basically how that works is if someone is in your terror radius, they will scream and reveal their position to you, which is kind of neat. It's sort of like, you know, they get jump scared and they showcase themselves. It's pretty neat for a Springtrap perk. Not a big fan of it. I was using it with this build specifically because the bottom perk is called Unforeseen. What that perk does is when you kick a generator, you gain the undetectable status effect, and the generator will then emit a terror radius. So what I wanted to test out in this build was like, does this new perk work with Unforeseen? And I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it does, because you saw earlier when I was going through the security doors, someone was screaming next to a generator I had just kicked. But I don't know if that was the work of the perk, because the perk didn't go on a cooldown, or if that was one of the survivor perks. So I'm going to have to do a bit more testing to see if that is truly the case. If it is, I like it. If it's not, whatever. But yeah, Springtrap has been really fun, but with it comes the really dumb thing that I hate about like Dead by Daylight as a community, is like whenever we gain a new licensed killer, it's like, oh my god, this will finally expand. How, like, it's always the same stuff, like, oh, with this so-and-so in the game, this opens the door for so many new killers. And it's like, does it though? Like, I know I say this like right after we get Kaneki, which definitely fits that mold, but I see some people saying that about Springtrap too. Like, oh yes, a horror character from a video game. This opens up so many different new characters, such as horror character from a video game, that definitely would fit Dead by Daylight regardless of whether or not Springtrap came into the game. I understand that most of the time they're talking about like, oh, we got a license from a very popular franchise, and we just keep getting these very popular franchises added into the game, but you can basically say that about any licensed killer, because 90% of the time, we're getting the killer from a well-known franchise. That's kind of how licensing works. Like, no one freaked out when the Left 4 Dead crossover came to the game, because no one knew what Left 4 Dead was. So when we got Bill, no one fucking cared. And no one was saying anything, because it wasn't a popular franchise that was getting licensed. It has a cult fan base, but it's nowhere near as popular as, like, Mike Myers. Michael Myers, I should say. I don't know why I say Mike Myers now. But, yeah. So, meanwhile, in the match, these survivors sort of screwed themselves over, because with the security doors, I can literally just walk in a straight line back and forth and guard these 3 generators very easily. This Meg, I don't know what this Meg was doing. Might have been trying to do a head-on play. Not sure. The Meg's just bad. But, yeah, so Springtrap in the game, very cool. I'm very excited to see. I want to see, however, like a psychological horror rep, because we don't really have any sort of character that could really represent that genre of horror, despite how popular it is. I would like to see them attempt to make like a original killer that you know is sort of like psychological horror, but then again that's sort of like the Dredge, I guess, somewhat. But if we do get a psychological horror rep, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring and say, fuck it, give us Monica from DDLC. Because she is from a psychological horror game, and I think it would be really funny to see people lose their minds over it. But yeah, as you can see, I can just kind of teleport instantly back to the farthest generator, walk up to mid, see where the survivors are, and then go down to the other generator and teleport back. Speaking of which, did you see it? If you didn't, at the top left corner while I was walking down the stairs, I spot this I don't know their name. I spot this survivor right here, and I will give them credit. They do put up a pretty decent chase with this pallet here, but yeah, I'm just not really a fan of this map because this pallet in particular is just really dumb to me. I do land this shot, and yeah, I'm afraid I've peaked with Springtrap. That is probably going to be the best hatchet throw, the best throw I ever land on this killer. That's probably going to be the peak of my Springtrap gameplay. And it happened when I wasn't even Rep 1. So, yeah, safe to say I'm not exactly the best with Springtrap. So I kick this generator right here, and if you look to the right, the bottom right, you can see that the Kate is sort of revealed to me, and she's hiding in basement because she wants to sandbag the rest of her team, apparently. I don't know how long she's been in there. I walk around the long way, definitely not because I forgot which way was basement, but because I wanted to check the other generator. So I go ahead, I head downstairs. You can hear her run over to the locker, so I know exactly where she is because of the scratch marks right there. And I just kind of look at you like, really? We doing this? Okay. I hate how every time, like, you saw my camera lock in like I was going to perform a grab, but I don't get the grab animation. So she has that perk that hides her scratch marks when she gets hit. It doesn't matter though, you didn't pair it with the perk that makes you quiet when you get hit, so I just hear you hiding in the bushes, I kill you, I move on. And yeah, that basically is wraps for the game. There's no way that Jeff can sort of live. All his teammates are dead. There's still all the generators left don't have any progress on them. And so I go ahead, I head over to this door over here because this is the shack. And typically I head to shack first whenever it's like a hatch standoff. So I don't hear the hatch, I go ahead, I head back. I go up to this door because it puts me on the top of main, so I can sort of scout out where the hatch might be. Better yet, I see the Jeff. So I drop down and I push him towards shack because I know hatch isn't at shack. So I push him over to shack, and he does a really bad misplay here. He should have double backed right there. He should have seen that I went the other way and went back in and probably dropped pallet, but he didn't. So I get him right there with the grab, and I get the kill. So that is just about the wraps up on the video. So go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. I plan on making more Dead by Daylight content again. It's been a while since I've made a Dead by Daylight video, so yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and let's see who finally had that head on that I swore someone had. It was... God, I scroll through these so slowly. It was the Sybil. They didn't even enter a locker though.